I finally figured out how to import my character model and do basic animations.
Great
Amazing
job, man.
job.
Wow.
Wow.
You knew how to do
Wow.
that. Did you watch a YouTube
So
video or
good.
something?
Great.
You look
Wow.
good, too.
Aw, thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Hello, my name is Void Lloyd. I've been playing Hytale like a mad lad these past couple days like everyone else. What I've really had a lot of fun with is the Machinima tool. It's been a whole lot of fun. In this video, I'm just going to kind of quickly show you a couple things I learned. I have two different videos in the description down below that I kind of use as a guide on how to do a lot of stuff. And what I'll just kind of recommend is just kind of figure stuff out. Just kind of mess around. The game is still really early. There's not really much documentation at all. Basically, we'll start with how to import your character model into the game so where you can do fun stuff like this, and then just kind of some animation basics. But before we get started, I just want to plug something. I'm making a Discord server called the HAG, the Hytale Animation Guild. Basically, it's going to be a Discord where anyone who wants to make machinimas or learn how to make machinimas or wants to show off their machinimas can kind of go and hang out. We can kind of share tips and tricks with each other. I think that's going to be the fastest way for everyone involved to kind of learn as a creator, kind of learn all these cool tools as we kind of figuring them out and as newer updates come out. So yeah, link to that will be in the description down below if you want to join. It's still really early. I just literally made it just now, so I'll be kind of adding more stuff and making that a funner place to hang out. We may even make a community server eventually once you can actually watch machinimas in game and other fun stuff like that. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and get straight into the tutorial video. So kind of first things first, before we even go into the game, don't mind my messy desktop here, we're gonna get your cached player data. We're going to use that for when we actually go back into Hytale and use the asset editor as our kind of, what we're going to actually be looking for. So you're just going to go to your search bar if you're on Windows. If you are on Mac and Linux, you can probably figure out the equivalent, or I might be able to help you in the comments down below. You're going to type in the app data. If you've played Minecraft, you know how to do this, right? Press OK. We're going to scroll down to Hytale. There it is. We're going to go into user data. Then we're going to go into cached player skins. Here's the JSON file of basically your avatar skin. You're going to want to open it up. Notepad++ is probably the best. You can do Notepad as well. It'll work just as fine. It'll just be kind of a little harder to see. If we go ahead and open it up in Notepad++, this basically lists all of the different traits that your character has. And you can kind of, after the comma here, if you just press enter, you can kind of see it a little bit better. And once we've done that, you can see that all of my different accessories, cosmetics, stuff like that is kind of in plain to see right here. So now that we have this, I'm going to get rid of mine. I know I've done this a billion times, so I know how to do it. So you can go up and launch Hytale. What we're going to do is you're going to make a new world, create world, creative. You can see there's no mods at all right now. We're going to do apply setting. We'll just do test video, apply settings, double click to create. Once we're in, it doesn't really matter which one you go to. I'm going to go over here just because it's a little prettier. And once we're in the world, the first one we're going to want to do, oh, that's cool, a little Quebec village right there. That's a crazy spawn. Anyway, we're going to do /op self just to make us OP on this server, even though it is single player. And then we're going to press B to open up builder tools. If you just press tab, it's over here as well. And we're going to go to our asset editor, and we're in our asset editor. So basically how this works is at the very top, this is basically just Hytale main file on, in the world, in the game installed. So what we need to do is kind of like make a mod real quick. We need to make our own little mod. That's where we're going to store all of your character information and fun stuff like that. Again, I highly recommend you just dig around in this. I'm not going to go too in-depth into this because I really don't know much about it. I've been just kind of messing around with it. And I'm sure more people will kind of learn more about it in the future. But yeah, just mess around with it. That's how you're going to figure out most stuff. We're going to go with these three dots at the very top here. We're going to do add pack. It's going to be the name of the pack. You can name it whatever. This is going to be more important if you actually want to upload a mod and something. For now, it's really fine to just mess around. So as you can see, if we click here now, it's basically now we have our own kind of mod pack that we can add all these new fun stuff to. So if we go back to the Hytale one, if you go all the way into model assets and human, and there's a couple different human models in the base game that we can kind of rip and use. So the one we want to take is this player model right here. There are different ones, but a lot of them just don't have built-in animations. This one has a lot of built-in animations we can just use off rip without having to add our own, which is really cool. So we're going to go back to our mod. we're going to go to model assets, and then we're going to do create model asset. Now basically everything is already filled out. It's going to be a model asset. We're going to give it unique ID, and this is the ID that is going to show up when you're searching for the model. And then we're going to want to copy the asset. So if you press the little arrow here, it's going to give you another model asset that you can use. Make sure you got to switch it back over to Hytale. And it's going to ask you what model asset do you want to copy. So we'll go to human, and we want to copy the player. This is everything it's going to copy. You can kind of get rid of some stuff, but it's fine for now. So we're going to go ahead and create. We went ahead and create it. You can see the model is not there. If we just go ahead and switch over, maybe click another thing, and then maybe go back, it should be all good. And there we are. It copied the base model and then just made it over here. But that's not our character. We want to see our character. And I watched a couple of the videos on how to do this. I've seen some videos how to kind of make your own character in Blockbench is really cool. But this way is way faster if you want to do it for machinimas. And there's a lot of weird bugs with it right now, and I'll show you kind of how to work around it. I'm not going to go all the way in how to actually do it for each individual thing, but you'll kind of get the idea once I get started. So right off the bat, this is just the basic skin. I think I use skin 1 just to be a little paler. So you can change that right here. This is all of our gradient sets and IDs. You'll be very familiar with those in the next couple of minutes here. So we want to go do attachments. Attachments is where we're going to add all of pretty much everything, all of our cosmetics for the character to make it unique to us. So first we have the body skin. We're going to switch that back to 1 again because I use the a paler model. Again, this is, you can also change your different faces. So if you go ahead and click here, these are all the different face types, like all the different makeup you can wear. We're just gonna leave it normal for now. Go here, you can change all your ears. Doesn't really matter with my character model. You don't see the ears anyway. Mouth, again, you can change that. I still have not figured out how to animate the mouth in Machinimas yet. I'm trying to figure that out. It seems buggy. There's a lot of bugs in the Machinima right now because it's very early access and it's very not on their radar. That's not the biggest priority for them right now. But hopefully in the future it'll get fixed and it'll be more clear on what to do. So then we got the eyes. I have blonde eyes, which are just like yellow. And then finally eyebrows. I just use black eyebrows. Cool, we got it. Now we got to add other stuff. So the first thing we'll add is hair. So if we go down, if we go up here to the attachment, we'll add a new attachment. So now it made this new number 5. So now we can get our model. So now we want to get out of our mod and go into base Hytale where everything is stored. And if we go into character, haircuts, they're going to be models for all the different haircuts. So that's where that file is going to come in super useful. So where you can see that I have the messy mop.blue haircut. So you're going to kind of go back and forth to kind of figure out what model you have. I have the messy mop block model. So you select that and it looks crazy. That's because we need a texture. So we'll go back to Hytale again. We're going to go to characters because the hair is on the character. Haircuts, and then we just need the same exact texture of the exact model that we just got. So messy mop. And there we go. Don't worry about the color right now. There's kind of a bug with the gradient sets, as you'll see here. If we switch it to hair, you can't actually change the hair gradient. That's fine for now. Don't worry about color at all. I'll show you there's a very, very quick workaround for all that. So that's pretty much it. You just keep adding stuff individually. So now I added 6. You switch back to Hytale. We're going to go to cosmetics. You kind of just go down the line. So let's add a hat. So if you go to head, I wear, on my character, I have the headphones dad cap. Headphones dad cap right here. Again, it looks super weird, but that's because we need the texture. You switch back to Hytale, cosmetics, head. Yep, it's in a folder. So headphones dad cap. There we go. Again, you can't really do the gradients. Just don't worry about it for now. We'll kind of go back and do it later. So I'm just going to speed up me doing all of my stuff real quick. Again, if you have any questions on how to actually do this or you're tripping up, just slow the video down. You can watch me kind of do it on my character with everything you need to see. I'm not going to do my exact character because it's just going to be kind of annoying to do. But yeah, this is where you're going to be able to do all of it. All right, so that's just gonna be good for now, just a real basic character. And again, with all these different model things, you could pretty much just make whatever character you want. I would recommend just kind of doing it on your side to kind of have the user-friendly version of it, and then you kind of, go back into your folder and get all this data info, and then come in here and make it. So again, how I said, the gradients are kind of busted. As you can see, you can select a type, but you can't actually select which color. The real easy solution to that is exit out of Asset Editor and then just reopen it. Like that's it. You can go in the source code and kind of finagle stuff there, but this is just so much easier. So we'll go back to our Voidloid character. We'll go back to attachments. And then as you can see with my shirt, I wasn't able to change the gradient idea, but now I can. So if I just give him a white shirt, boom, now it looks like what I want. Same with the pants, whatever colored cotton, let's give him black pants. This one probably doesn't work because of how this texture works, but you can kind of mess around with everything. That's a bad example. My headphones I can change to, yep, right there. And then also my hair, we'll change that to blue as well, just for demonstration's purpose. But yeah, here we go. We got our model all imported, and this is in the game. It's kind of like a mod in the game. We'll be able to spawn it and do a whole bunch of fun stuff with it. Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos talking about that whole process, but I haven't seen a lot of people show, the further steps of how to actually make machinimas with it. You may think, why go through all the purpose of doing this when you literally just have, the character model right here? Like, why do I need to be able to do that? The animation at the beginning kind of showed you why. You can add hundreds of entities to your world and have different things going on. That's obviously something you would not be able to do with just one character. You need 100 friends. That would be too hard to do. All right, so I'm just going to do a quick basic tutorial about how the Machinima tool works. If we go ahead and press B, we're going to press Machinima. It's going to give you a camera. So now with this camera, I think I have it turned off the hotbars. But if you go ahead and press L, it'll bring up the legend, where you kind of scroll through that and read all of it. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense when I first started, but there's a lot of other stuff you can do to kind of figure it out. So if we go ahead and press N, that's going to bring up the timeline. We're going to have to create a new timeline. You can see all my different ones I made right here. But yeah, we're going to go create a new one. We're just going to go test animation, like so. And then we're going to press the add track. We're going to add a character. We're going to name him Void for me. And we're going to do an entity. Not player, even though this is the player, but entity. We'll do create actor. As you can see, it kind of spawned a kind of basic character. And I have noticed wherever you kind of press N and, add the entity, it does the exact same. Like it spawns wherever you were, basically. And even with like the height, or say like if I was looking up here and I spawned in a new character, Void 2, entity, he will just be looking up by default like that. You can obviously change it, but that's just for, if you wanted to do, 100 entities, that would be the fastest way to do it. Again, there's a better tutorial out there that I will link in the description below on how to make better machinimas, but I'm just going to show you how to kind of import your character to this. So we got our character right here. If we press N again, we'll go ahead and select that. We're going to now right click it and we're going to press edit settings. So now it just needs to have a model. So whatever we named it, I would just recommend using your character name. Easy to remember, obviously. We're going to go ahead and press save changes and boom. The exact same character model that I just made. So if we go ahead and press N, there's a whole bunch of other stuff we can do. We'll just add another keyframe. What I like to do is, so if at 10 frames, this would be 1/6 of a second at 60 FPS. Just a little fun command I learned is .mach and then change FPS, and then you can change it to whatever you want. So you can do it to 10. So now that 10 seconds is now, this is basically a second now. So just kind of show it off. If you do add event animations, it'll make an animation event on this keyframe. You can go and edit movement, and then there's just a basic walk animation that this character can do. If I just press R to restart the timeline, press P, it'll just go ahead and start walking. Again, there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can kind of have, you can move it so it actually looks like he's going to and fro and all that stuff. And then how I even found that in the first place, if we go ahead and press N and open up our asset editor again, if we go to our character Voidloid right here and we go to the animations, these are all the animations that are kind of baked into this character from RIP. Not all of them are working. I'm going to be completely honest. I tried quite a few, and importing some and importing other ones don't work super well. But that's it. That's all I got for this video. Just kind of, again, a quick video explaining how to import your character data, how to animate them, to make your own machinima. I'm really excited to make some longer machinimas, you know, actual machinimas in the future. And I'm excited to see other people's as well. Again, join the Discord, the Hag, the Hytale Animation Guild. It's going to be, I hope it'll be fun. I hope it'll just be a bunch of people that want to, you know, make really cool stuff in Hytale, and it's been a fun process, this entire thing. It still feels very much like a game. Hytale's just been so user friendly and just so intuitive, I feel like. Whereas if I were to try to do this in any other game, or even Minecraft, obviously, I just would not be able to do it already. It just seems, and it seems more fun. It seems more gamified. I really like that. So tell me any tips and tricks in the comments down below, and tell me what kind of videos you want to see here on the channel. I'll see you guys around.